Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. The basketball world is literally shaking as reports swirl that the Boston Celtics have officially agreed to a trade, sending Jaylen Brown to the San Antonio Spurs in a move that no one saw coming. Insiders are calling it a blockbuster, and fans on social media are erupting in speculation, debates, and outright shock. Brown, known for his explosive athleticism, defensive prowess, and consistent scoring ability, has been a cornerstone of the Celtics lineup for years. His rise from a promising one-and-done at the University of California, where he earned Pac-12 first-team honors and the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year award, to a star in the NBA, has been meteoric. The Celtics, a franchise built on championship ambitions, suddenly appear to be taking a different strategic approach, possibly signaling a shift in team philosophy. Meanwhile, Spurs executives are reportedly thrilled, seeing Brown as the missing piece to elevate a young roster full of potential. The trade itself is still under scrutiny, with analysts questioning the timing and the assets exchanged. Some claim that Boston might be positioning itself to clear cap space for a future superstar, while others wonder if this is a response to internal dynamics nobody outside the organization fully understands. The NBA, as always, is unpredictable, and this trade might redefine the Eastern and Western Conference balance in ways no one anticipated. Fans are dissecting every angle, every stat, and every rumor circulating in both cities, and the intensity of the chatter is only growing. As more insiders weigh in, the consensus seems clear. This is not just a trade, it's a statement, and the repercussions could last for years. Sports shows, podcasts, and social media threads are lighting up with theories about why the Celtics would part ways with a player of Brown's caliber. While the Celtics management remains tight-lipped, sources hint that negotiations have been ongoing for months, suggesting that this move wasn't spontaneous but rather a carefully calculated maneuver. Speculation is rampant about what the Spurs are willing to give in return, with some rumors hinting at a package of draft picks, young prospects, and perhaps a veteran player to balance salaries. Brown's reaction to the trade is also under the microscope, with insiders claiming that he's professionally processing the news but will undoubtedly want to prove himself in a new environment. Social media reactions have been immediate, with some fans expressing outrage while others see opportunity, framing Brown's move as a potential catalyst for a Spurs resurgence. Analysts debate how this trade affects Celtics' chemistry and their championship window, with some predicting immediate turbulence, while others argue the long-term plan could be brilliant. As the NBA world digests this bombshell, one thing is certain. Nothing will feel the same for Celtics fans, Spurs fans, or the league at large. The rumors surrounding Jaylen Brown's move to San Antonio are growing more detailed by the hour, as unnamed sources suggest that the trade talks involved multiple teams before being finalized. It's being reported that the Celtics considered several alternatives, including trading for draft picks or other all-star caliber players, but ultimately decided that Brown's value could facilitate a larger strategic plan for the franchise. Brown's versatility, both offensively and defensively, has made him one of the league's most coveted wings, able to impact a game in numerous ways. The Spurs, conversely, have been quietly building a team with a mixture of young talent and experienced veterans, and Brown's addition could accelerate their timeline for competitiveness in the Western Conference. NBA analysts are now debating how Brown's presence will alter the Spurs lineup, possibly allowing DeJounte Murray to play more freely, while opening space for emerging stars to develop alongside a proven all-star. Social media buzz has taken on a life of its own, with threads dissecting every possible scenario, every pass game, and every playoff performance that might inform how Brown will fit in San Antonio's system. The Celtics fan base, meanwhile, is grappling with a mixture of shock and curiosity, with some questioning the front office's motives and others trusting that this move is part of a larger blueprint aimed at long-term success. Discussions about salary cap implications, luxury tax considerations, and potential future trades are dominating sports media panels. The timing of this trade, just weeks before the playoffs, raises further questions about how Boston intends to fill the immediate gap left by Brown. Meanwhile, rumors suggest that Spurs leadership sees this as an opportunity to challenge the established hierarchy in the West, believing that adding a player of Brown's caliber could transform their offense and defense overnight. The trade also triggers discussions about player loyalty and the business side of professional sports, with Brown's career trajectory now entering a completely new chapter. Experts are scrutinizing his past playoff performances, his chemistry with former teammates, and his potential impact in a Spurs uniform. NBA betting markets have already started adjusting odds, reflecting the uncertainty and excitement generated by this unprecedented move. The dialogue surrounding this trade extends beyond traditional news outlets, spilling into podcasts, fan forums, and even casual conversations in bars and gyms across the country. The consensus among pundits seems to be that while Boston may gain long-term flexibility, the immediate emotional and strategic shockwaves will be intense. Meanwhile, San Antonio is being painted as the dark horse in the West, with a roster that might now have the depth, versatility, and star power to surprise many analysts who had written them off just months ago. The shockwaves of Jaylen Brown's trade to the San Antonio Spurs continue to ripple through the NBA, as insiders speculate not only about the immediate impact on both teams, but also about the long-term implications for league dynamics. Boston Celtics fans are reportedly in a state of disbelief, flooding social media platforms with threads dissecting every angle, from how this trade affects their championship window to whether it signals a broader philosophical shift within the franchise. Analysts point out that Brown's departure leaves a noticeable hole in Boston's defensive schemes, as his ability to guard multiple positions and switch seamlessly on pick and rolls was central to their previous strategies. Meanwhile, the Spurs are being lauded for what some call a daring, high-reward maneuver, a signal that the organization is ready to challenge Western Conference powerhouses sooner than anticipated. Rumors suggest that Spurs management is viewing Brown as a foundational piece around which they can build, pairing him with existing young talent to create a dynamic, versatile lineup capable of competing against elite teams. Conversations among basketball insiders also highlight the psychological effects of such a trade, with Brown needing to adapt quickly to a new city, coaching staff, and team culture, which could either catalyze his performance or pose unexpected challenges. Fans are already projecting hypothetical lineups, debating whether Brown's presence allows the Spurs to implement faster, more aggressive defensive schemes while diversifying their offensive options. Betting markets, podcasts, and talk shows are exploding with theories, from predicting immediate wins to assessing playoff implications, with each rumor amplifying the sense of anticipation. The trade has transformed San Antonio into a talking point across the league, with experts and fans alike acknowledging that the ripple effects will shape conversations well into the next season. Observers are also discussing the hidden messages behind the Celtics' decision, suggesting it could be a strategic gamble aimed at attracting a future superstar or a subtle acknowledgement that a team restructure was necessary. As the days progress, the narrative continues to evolve, with each insider report adding layers of intrigue, speculation, and excitement to an already sensational NBA storyline. Speculation continues to swirl around the Boston Celtics' motives, with insiders suggesting that this trade was far from a spontaneous decision, but rather the culmination of months of careful planning and back-channel negotiations. Sources claim that executives explored multiple alternatives before finalizing the deal, weighing options like high-value draft picks, young prospects with untapped potential, and other veteran players who could immediately impact the roster. By moving Jaylen Brown, Boston appears to be strategically clearing cap space while simultaneously creating flexibility for future acquisitions, a move that analysts say could redefine the team's long-term trajectory. Fans and pundits alike are questioning whether this trade is a sign that the Celtics are shifting their focus from immediate contention to a more calculated, long-term approach. On the other side, the Spurs are being praised for their aggressive vision, seemingly betting on Brown's combination of athleticism, skill, and experience to rapidly elevate a young and promising roster. Rumors suggest that San Antonio plans to integrate Brown into a leadership role, trusting his versatility and high basketball IQ to guide emerging players while contributing significantly on both ends of the floor. The trade's timing, just before critical playoff matchups, adds another layer of intrigue as basketball insiders debate whether the Celtics will face immediate disruption in chemistry or whether this calculated move will pay off in future seasons. Media outlets are covering every minute development, from practice reports to potential player reactions, amplifying the narrative that this trade could have ripple effects far beyond a simple roster adjustment. Discussions have intensified regarding the balance of power in the Eastern and Western conferences, with analysts projecting potential matchups, playoff strategies, and how teams might adapt to the sudden shift in talent distribution. Meanwhile, the trade has sparked debates on social media about player loyalty, front office transparency, and the nature of NBA business, highlighting the emotional and strategic complexity behind blockbuster decisions. As rumors evolve, every new report seems to feed a frenzy of analysis, speculation, and heated debate, reinforcing the idea that this trade is more than just a transaction. It's a defining moment for both franchises. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In San Antonio, excitement is palpable as fans and local media speculate on how JAYLEN Brown will transform the Spurs style of play, potentially enabling a more dynamic, perimeter-oriented offense. Analysts suggest that Brown's ability to create shots, defend multiple positions, and thrive in transition could unlock new possibilities for the team, particularly when paired with existing talent such as Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. Rumors indicate that the coaching staff is already planning adjustments to accommodate Brown's unique skill set, envisioning lineups that maximize his versatility and ability to stretch defenses. Some insiders are predicting that this addition might accelerate the Spurs' return to playoff contention, challenging more established Western Conference contenders earlier than anyone anticipated. Fans are theorizing about Brown's chemistry with the roster, projecting how his leadership, experience, and on-court intelligence could influence team dynamics both in practice and in high-pressure game situations. Meanwhile, Boston's fan base remains in a state of intense debate, questioning whether the decision to trade Brown represents a misstep or a strategic pivot designed for future dominance. Speculation extends beyond immediate player contributions, encompassing salary cap implications, potential free agent acquisitions, and the broader direction of team strategy. Analysts and commentators are exploring scenarios in which Boston leverages newly freed resources to target a marquee player in upcoming seasons, while simultaneously assessing how San Antonio can integrate Brown seamlessly without destabilizing existing chemistry. Social media has become a hotbed of debate, with fans constructing mock lineups, predicting statistical outcomes, and debating the potential playoff implications of this unexpected trade. Insider reports suggest that Brown has been in contact with Spurs management and coaching staff, indicating professionalism and readiness to embrace his new role. Every rumor, whether about locker room dynamics, future trades, or strategic planning, adds fuel to the narrative, reinforcing the perception that this blockbuster deal could reshape the trajectory of both franchises for years to come. Rumors surrounding JAYLEN Brown's immediate impact on the Spurs have sparked intense analysis, with insiders predicting that his presence could alter offensive schemes, defensive rotations, and even the team's tempo. Basketball analysts highlight that Brown's versatility allows him to play multiple positions, providing coaching staff with unprecedented flexibility to design matchups tailored to exploit opponents' weaknesses. Social media speculation ranges from detailed breakdowns of potential lineups to heated debates about how Brown's style will mesh with existing stars, emphasizing both excitement and uncertainty. On the Celtics side, discussions focus on how the loss of Brown affects the team's identity, particularly regarding defensive intensity, transition scoring, and overall roster balance. Industry experts are dissecting the trade from every angle, considering short-term consequences like playoff readiness and long-term outcomes, such as cap space management and future draft leverage. Rumors suggest that the Spurs might also be exploring complementary moves to solidify the roster around Brown, possibly involving minor trades or free agent signings to ensure a balanced lineup. Analysts speculate about psychological effects on players who remain in Boston, noting that roster upheaval can lead to a temporary dip in chemistry, but might ultimately benefit a team willing to adapt to new roles. The fan narrative has been equally compelling, with Celtics supporters expressing mixed emotions ranging from betrayal to cautious optimism, while Spurs fans embrace the arrival of a proven all-star as validation of the organization's vision. Betting lines and fantasy basketball projections are rapidly adjusting, reflecting the league-wide recognition that Brown's relocation carries tangible implications for both statistical output and team strategy. Conversations among insiders frequently touch on locker room leadership dynamics, suggesting that Brown's professionalism and experience could provide mentorship to younger Spurs players while simultaneously raising expectations across the roster. As speculation continues, the narrative emphasizes not only the tactical ramifications of the trade, but also the emotional and cultural impact within both organizations. Media outlets are increasingly framing this trade as more than just a personnel change. It represents a bold gamble, a statement of intent, and a turning point that could influence league narratives for the foreseeable future. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.